Okay, so domain and range from the graph of a continuous function. So we're going to use interval notation. So we've got the brackets for the square brackets for the closed circles, rounded brackets for the open circles, and then we always need to go from smallest to lowest. In these ones, we won't have gaps, so we don't have to worry about that yet, but we will look at domain and range. So domain is always in the x direction. You can always label your points. Sometimes that helps. So -3, -4. And this point is 5, 4. All right, domain goes in the x direction. So we're going across from here to here. So it's the x coordinates from one side to the other. So my domain is going to be a closed circle. So it is the bracket. And my lowest number on the x is -3. And it goes all the way to 5 in the x direction. And that is an open circle. So domain goes from, it looks like, -3 to 5. Now the range goes up and down. So I always go range, because it's the y direction, and it's going to go from the lowest point, which is at -4. It is a closed dot, so it's the square brackets, and it goes all the way up to here, which is at 4, which is the rounded bracket. So my range is from a square bracket at -4 to a rounded bracket at 4. We will get those typed in. So typing those in with my mess on the thing. So remember, it's mix and match. So we've got the square and the rounded. So domain is from -3 to 5. And the range is a square and a rounded. So -4 to 4. We'll check our answers. I'll save my page, clear my drawings so you can see them, and check our answers. And we're good for 1, and we're going to look at the next one. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. We've got a low, the domain still goes across the x's. So we're going from this point, which is at, this is -2, -5. And this is 3, 0. And this topmost point here, this is the highest it's going to go. This is actually 1, 4. Yes. 1, 4. Okay, so my domain is going from my leftmost point as I'm reading across to my rightmost point. So it's going to here. So it's going from -2 to 3. They are both open circles, so they're rounded brackets. My range goes from my lowest, which has that rounded bracket, it's an open circle, at -5. And it's going all the way up to the highest it goes. So it's actually going up to here, which is that 4. And now there isn't an open circle there. So the graph actually exists there. The open circle means that it's going really, really close to it, but not hitting. So this, because there's not an open circle, is going to be the square bracket. So we're going to rewrite it. Domain, just so that I have it, is going to go from -2 to 3. And the range goes from -5 with the open circle to that 4, which actually doesn't have a circle, but it's got the graph going in there. So we're going to type those in there. Looking at this, we've got domain is 2 rounded. So it's -2 to 3. The range is a round and a square because it's going from an open circle to a solid. So -5, 4. We will scroll this up. save my picture, clear my drawings, look at my answers, and then we're going to check. All right, so one more. Last one should be hopefully a decent, nice looking one. All right, so my points are -5, 4, and my other point is 2, -2. All right, so my domain is going to go, we're going to just type this one in as opposed to writing it on it. So my domain goes from my leftmost point, which is at -5, to my rightmost point, which is at 2, and they're both open circles, so rounded parentheses, -5, 2. And then my range goes from my lowest point, which is at -2, to my highest point, which goes to 4. They're both open circles, so rounded parentheses, 2 to 4. Check my answer, and we are good with this topic.